You are listening to a special edition of the Purdue Report with Jake Dunn. Greg and Jake will be back Wednesday morning for the weekly Purdue Report, previewing the Sweet 16.
Thank you, producer Susie, and
welcome, Boilermaker fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report for a special edition of the Purdue Report with Jake Dunn. His reaction to the Boilermakers 79-69 win over Miami and another date in the Sweet 16. Jake, it wasn't always pretty, but it was pretty convincing.
It was. Purdue's in the Sweet 16 for the third year in a row. 7 of the last 9 Sweet 16s Purdue has made it to. So really, really consistent performance from this team in the NCAA tournament. And Fletcher Loyer is the unsung hero of the day. He had a very efficient day, one of the best performances that I think we've seen all season from anybody in college basketball. He had 24.
I'm not sure they win if he has an ordinary day.
Yeah, I agree. He had 24 points on just 7 shots. Was 6 of 7 from the field, 4 of 4 from 3. The only shot he missed was one he had to take because he was going to have a shot clock violation if he didn't shoot it. And he's now shooting 50% from 3 in the postseason. And he right now looks like Purdue's most consistent weapon, not only his shooting, but also his off-ball movement and also decision-making. I feel like his passing here in the NCAA tournament and also the Big Ten tournament has been pretty impressive. And he just does things that you would expect senior leaders to do. So I really liked his effort and fight so far here over the past few weeks.
I said in our preview, he kind of needs to be the Ryan Klein of 2019 this year. And that's exactly what he was today.
Seems like CJ Cox has been kind of the Carson Edwards of this tournament run so far. Not to the same extent per se, but in this game, he hit 3 threes in the last minute and 37 seconds of the first half. So that helps erase a 7-point deficit.
I was starting to get worried.
Yeah, me too. And that stretch completely changed the game's trajectory. So it goes from Purdue being down potentially double digits to being down 2 at halftime because they hit a shot there at the buzzer, a layup to go up 2. Miami did, but he did suffer a hyperextended knee, which will be something to monitor going forward. When he first went down, mind immediately went to the worst of the worst, but he was able to get up and walk it off. So hopefully he'll be ready to go for Thursday.
He'll have some pain, I'm sure. He'll be fine by Thursday. Sure seems that way, right?
Certainly hope so. One thing that I think really helped Purdue here was just Trey Kaufman-Renn's really just steadiness. He was a force in the interior, finished with 19 points, 9 rebounds, and his floater, his typical little push shot floater, and then just his kind of post hooks, his moves in the post were really solid, especially against Malik Renew, who he was pretty familiar with. Renew pretty familiar with Purdue as well with his time at IU. So I was really impressed with how TKR played against him, and he had a really, really great performance today, even when Braden Smith wasn't having the best day scoring or really taking care of the ball. Guys like Fletcher Loyer, Trey Kaufman-Renn, and even CJ Cox really helped kind of pick up that offensive firepower where we were lacking with Braden Smith.
I tell you what, that's 3 games in a row Trey Kaufman-Renn has had a stretch in the game where he's just completely taken over.
And that's great to see at this point in the season. I think that'll probably continue to happen going forward here. So one thing that's going to need to happen to continue advancing in the tournament is improving the defense. Purdue did improve it in the second half. They held Miami to 11 of 30 from shooting in the second half.
That's because Miami missed a lot of open shots.
They made just 1 3 after halftime, but Purdue did do a little bit of a better job cutting off dribble penetration, and they packed the paint and forced some tough looks. So Purdue is going to need a high-level defense again to keep advancing here. But we would be remiss if we didn't mention Jakari Harris, as well. He stepped up big when CJ Cox went down with that injury. He hit a big three, helped handle some pressure. Miami was trying to pressure Purdue a full court, and he played disruptive defense. He hit a really nice block in transition, had a couple steals and some nice rebounds.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the kind of depth that is needed to win these tournament games.
Jake, it is 10:39 on Sunday evening, and there still is no time listed for the Texas-Purdue game on Thursday. I'm hoping by the time we get out of here, because we now know that Arizona has moved on as well, that we will know pretty soon.
Obviously, hoping it'll be a late game to give Purdue some time to rest here. Not up to us to make those times, but it'd be nice, especially with it being in California. You'd think it'd be more of a late night tip.
It's like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That's the thing. So they could either be like an 8 o'clock tip or a 10:30. It's one of those two.
Okay.
When you're out west.
For the team's sake, I guess I hope it'd be a 10:30 game. But I guess we'll see what the NCAA decides to do.
Just happy to have him in the Sweet 16 when 10 days ago, maybe, Jake, I was worried about a first-round exit in the Big Ten and then a first-round exit in the NCAA tournament. Here we are.
There still are things to be, I guess, concerned about here. We talked about the defense. Miami had 14 offensive rebounds and 13 second chance points, and Purdue was out-rebounded overall, something that doesn't happen a ton. And Purdue only had 4 offensive rebounds, so that will be a bigger problem, against bigger and more athletic teams moving forward, like in Arizona.
They're so vulnerable on the defensive boards. Especially when they're so good on the offensive boards typically, although, as you said, not today. And now is the Cinderella of the tournament, Jake, and that should tell you kind of how this tournament has gone. The Cinderella of the tournament is Texas.
Purdue gets to match up with yet again another Cinderella. That type of team, a Cinderella team, is one that Purdue hasn't fared super well against.
That's correct.
But we'll see if that'll change. It would be nice to see Cam Heide in the Sweet 16 again with Texas. Get that really big shot to kind of put the dagger in Gonzaga, which was really cool to see. Pretty reminiscent of his 3 against Houston in the Sweet 16 last year for Purdue, the game that they eventually lost. But really cool to see him hit that shot and advance to face Purdue in the Sweet 16. So hopefully this will be Purdue can get the best of Texas, but I'm sure the Boilers will be nice to see their old, be happy to see their old teammate.
Jake, I remember at least 3 matchups with Texas in previous tournaments. It's become kind of a common opponent, which is weird.
I had one. I think it was the first or second round, I think, against I remember Jaden Ivey being on the team when they played in the NCAA tournament. I think my freshman year of college, Texas came to Mackey and played, and Texas ended up winning that game.
2022, Purdue defeated Texas, as you mentioned, in the second round. 2003, in the Sweet 16, Texas defeated Purdue 77-67. I believe that was Kevin Durant's only year in Texas. 1990 second round, Texas defeated Purdue 73-72. And I remember Gene Cady had a big blow up in the press conference about the officiating. And in the 1972 Sweet 16, Purdue defeated Texas 66-65. This year, Jake, the odds makers early on have Purdue as a 7.5 point favorite and a minus 345 money line.
I think that's probably a pretty good spread. So what the spread was here for this Miami game, Courtney Green, an official in the game against Miami. Purdue has not hit only one time ever covered the spread when he was officiating a Purdue game. So Purdue won by 10. They covered the spread this time for only the second time. I believe the record is now Purdue's 2-43 against the spread whenever he officiates a game against Purdue. So that's a pretty crazy stat. hopefully,
You gotta do
Purdue.
that before the game, Jake.
Yeah. I hope that that'll be the last time they see Courtney Green this NCAA tournament.
Well, Jake, thanks so much. As I said, we'll be back first thing Wednesday morning. Might even get that out Tuesday night. We'll also have a Sweet 16 preview sometime this week. We'll also have a high school state finals preview as well. So look for all of that. Jake, before we go, it looks like Matt Painter has really tightened his rotation.
Yeah, didn't see a lot of Daniel Jacobson today. Didn't see a ton of Omer Meyer.
Or
although
Jack.
he did. Yeah, or Jack Benner. And I'm sure some of that was probably matchup issues with, kind of some of the people that were on the floor. But typically, whenever we get to the NCAA tournament, the rotations do shrink a little bit. So I don't think it's necessarily anything to be too worried about. Normal practice here at least for Matt Painter anyway. But if matchups are a little more favorable for Daniel Jacobson versus Oscar Clough for whatever reason, then I would expect Matt Painter to play Daniel Jacobson more. We'll see what happens here with them going forward.
Yeah, today was pretty much the starters and Jakari Harris.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Jake, let's do it again on Wednesday.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Always appreciate it. And please do us a huge favor and share this podcast with a Purdue fan in your life. Help us spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is talking about what Central Indiana sports fans are talking about every single day. Thanks again, Jake, and Boiler Up.
Yeah, thank you. Boiler Up.
The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. Wait for it. And I love Susie.